Hi kids. I'm going to record a quick lesson to help you do mixed numbers and improper fractions. The worksheet looks like this. And then the back side of it looks like this, mixed numbers and improper fractions. So first off, let's remember what a mixed number is. A mixed number is a mix of a whole number and a fraction. So 1 1/4 is a mixed number because it's got a whole number and it's got a fraction. 1 1/4. That's a mixed number. Okay? Another mixed number is 3 2/6. That's a mixed number because you've got your whole number and then you've also got a fraction. Okay? Mixed number. That's all it is. Improper fraction is when the top number, the numerator, is larger than the bottom number, the denominator. So an example of that might be 27/4. Look how big that numerator is compared to the denominator. Normally when you see a fraction, a proper fraction, then the numerator is going to be smaller than the denominator. But in an improper fraction, it's reversed. So I'm going to show you how to take an improper fraction like that and turn it into a mixed number because it's much easier to work with. Then in a future lesson, you're going to learn how to take a mixed number and turn it backwards into an improper fraction. You have to know how to do both of them. But this is fairly easy if you know your division facts. So let's start with that first one that I gave you, 1 1/4. That was our mixed number. But when we look at another fraction that's an improper fraction, let's look at 5/4. That's an improper fraction because the top number, the numerator, is so much bigger, not so much, it's 1 bigger, but it's bigger than the denominator, the 4. The top number is bigger than the bottom number when you have an improper fraction. And so we're going to fix that. We're going to take that improper fraction and turn it into a mixed number. Let me show you how. This is actually just a division problem. A pretty easy division problem. Let me show you how to turn that number, 5/4, into a division problem. This is how you will write it. The denominator will go right here, and the numerator will go inside the garage. Remember how we used to call this a garage? The numerator will go inside the garage. Okay, so now we've got 5/4 as an improper fraction, and we turned it into a division problem. That's a simple division problem, you guys. You can do way bigger division problems than that. So this should be okay. Now let's do that. How many times will 4 fit into 5? Once. So I'm going to put a 1 up there. Then if you remember, you multiply. 1 times 4 is 4. You subtract. 5 take away 4 is 1. And we're done. That's our remainder. There's no more to drop down, so we're done. Oops, let's put it on this side. There's less glare. All right? Now, how is that a mixed number? How are we going to make that look like a mixed number? This is how. The number that we came up with, the quotient, which is the answer to our division problem, the quotient is going to become our whole number. The quotient in this situation was a 1. So the quotient becomes our whole number. I'm going to erase this and do it so that you can see the whole thing. Okay. The quotient was the answer. of a division problem. It was 1. 4 goes into 5 once. So that number 1 now becomes our whole number in the mixed number. Remember, a mixed number is going to have a whole number, that's the 1, and then it's going to have a fraction. Oops. Here's a little clue for today and for all the other lessons we're going to have about fractions. The denominator won't change. The denominator does not change. The denominator does not change. Say that with me. The denominator does not change. The denominator does not change. What? The denominator does not change. So we use the quotient, the answer to our division problem, which was 1, as our whole number. And remember, we're making a mixed number out of that. So we look at how we started, 5/4. What was the denominator in how we started, 5/4? A 4. And what did I just say? The denominator does not change. So the denominator in our mixed number is going to be a 4. How do we know what goes on top? Whatever was our remainder is the top. The remainder will be the numerator. Okay? So the numerator in this case is 1. So my answer is 1 1/4. That was a whole lot of talking to do a problem. Let's do one with way less talking. Okay, I'm going to put the quotient is equals, I put equals, is our whole number. You know that hashtag symbol you guys call hashtag? Some people will call it the pound symbol. You can also use it to say number. So the remainder becomes the new numerator. And the denominator does not change. So we're going to have two new numbers. The quotient of our division problem will become our whole number. The remainder of our division problem will become our new numerator. The denominator does not change. Okay? So I'm going to underneath that little bit of information, I'm going to write a new improper fraction. A new fraction where the numerator is bigger than the denominator. Let's go with 9/4. So there's my new improper fraction. 9/4. The numerator is bigger than the denominator. So let's turn that into a division problem. That big number, that big numerator is going to go in the garage, and the denominator will be our divisor. Okay? Now just do that division problem for me real quick. You can pause the video if you want. Do that division problem for me real quick. Okay, if you unpause the video, I'm assuming you're done with your little division problem. This is what I came up with. 9 divided by 4, let me put it over here again, is 2 remainder of 1. So if I look at the top, the quotient is going to be my new whole number. In this situation, the quotient is a 2. So I will write 2 as my new whole number. In my clues above, it says the remainder becomes our new numerator. What was our remainder in 4 goes into 9? It went in 2 times remainder of 1. So 1 becomes our new numerator. What's the denominator? The denominator does not change. So the denominator is a 4. Okay? We took our improper fraction and made it into a division problem. Once we had an answer, the quotient becomes our new whole number, the remainder becomes our new numerator, and the denominator does not change. All right, I'm going to erase this and we're going to do another one. Let's see, how about 12/5? 5. 12 over 5. That is an improper fraction because the numerator is larger than the denominator. So let's fix it. Turn it into a division problem. Pause the video and turn that into a division problem. Work out the division problem, and then when you're done, unpause the video and we'll go forward. Five goes into 12 two times, and that's 10. 12 take away 10. So my answer is a mess. My answer is 2 remainder 2. Weird answer. 5 goes into 12 two times. 2 times 5 is 10. 12 take away 10 is 2. So my answer is 2 remainder 2. Now, if that quotient becomes my new whole number is a 2. If the remainder becomes my new numerator, my new numerator is a 2. And the denominator does not change. Okay? All right, now I'm going to set that down and we're going to look at the worksheet for today. Mixed numbers and improper fractions. This is a mixed number. 13/4. Right there. 13/4. That's an improper fraction, excuse me. You can draw a picture of it the way we did last week with strips. There's 4/4, 8/4, 12/4, oops, and one more, 13/4. So that's 4/4 plus 4 more plus 4 more is 12. And then there's just 1 in that last one there, plus 1 more, equals 13/4. Another way to say 13/4 is 1, 2, 3 holes, and 1 out of 4 in the last one. We've got 3 whole strips filled in, and 1 out of 4 in the last strip. So another way to say 13/4 is to say 3 holes and 1/4. This picture shows us 13/4 is the same thing as 3 holes and 1/4. 3 and 1/4. Okay, the fraction bar, that line across the middle of a fraction, means divide. Did you know that? The bar in a fraction means divide. So this means 13 divided by 4. And then they wrote that out, 13 divided by 4. 4 goes into 13 3 times. 3 times 4 is 12. Subtract, no more to drop down, so we're done. That is the remainder. They're calling it the number of parts, but you know from division that's the remainder. So this is our new whole number, 3. The remainder is our new numerator, right there. And the denominator does not change. If we look at this one here, let's look at the first one together. That is 1, 2, 3 holes, and 1 out of 3 in the last one. So that would be 3 and 1/3. 3 and 1/3. But what if we're going to write that only in thirds? Let's look at it. 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 9, plus 1 more is 10. So how many thirds have we got colored in there? 10 thirds. 10 over 3. All right? So let's write that down on my whiteboard. 10 over 3. 10 thirds. That's how many thirds they're showing us on this sheet here. 10 thirds, so that's how you write it. 10 thirds. Okay? Now, we're going to turn that into a division problem because that fraction line says divided by. So what it comes out to is really 10 divided by 3. 10 thirds is the same as 10 divided by 3. Read that improper fraction. 10 divided by 3. And this is how we would write that. Now, really quick, once again, you're going to pause this video and work that division problem out really quick. And then when you've unpaused it, this is your answer. 3 will go into 10 3 times. That makes 9. Subtract, and our remainder is 1. So our new whole number is the quotient, 3. Our new numerator is the remainder, 1. And the denominator does not change. So it is 3 and 1/3. Isn't that what we counted out? 3 wholes and 1 out of 3 in the last one? So that's how you do it. They've got the explanation up here. They've showed you how to do it 2 ways. Oh shoot, I wrote on my paper. First they showed you how to write it as an improper fraction. 13/4, because there's 12 here. And one more is 13 of all those fourths are colored in. Then they showed you how to do it as a mixed number. And that would be right here. 1, 2, 3 wholes are colored in, so they put 3 as the whole number. And 1 out of 4 is colored in the last one, so they put 1/4. So this picture right here can be 13/4, or it could be 3 and 1/4. It's the same thing. Then on this side of the sheet, they show you how to do that. Remember that the fraction bar stands for divided by. So 13 over 4 means 13 divided by 4. The quotient is your whole number. That's why here it says number of wholes. The quotient is your whole number, which is 3. The remainder is your new numerator, which is 1. And the denominator does not change, so it's 4 in both of them. Okay? So you work on that today and see if you can get that done with limited help from your parents, because I want to see if you know how to do it yourself. You could do a few and then show your mom and dad and say, is this right? If you need to Zoom me, we're going to Zoom. Just let me know. There's something on my mouth. Let me know, and I will set up a time. Most any time works for me, even if it's right over lunch. Most of the time, it doesn't matter. We are having a meeting, our regular meetings on Mondays and Wednesdays, except over the Easter break. But give it a shot, because I feel like you can do this. And I know that you can do this if you put your mind to it. Maybe you say, I can't do this. Just say, I can't do this yet. But you will be able to. Like every other math we've done, you end up doing it very well. This is the first time we've done this, so it's trickier. But by the time we've done it over and over and over, you're going to wonder why you thought it was hard. Just like it has been with all our other concepts that we've learned in math. At first you think it's hard and you don't think you can do it. But then if I remind you, you can't do it yet. You will eventually be able to do it. I know you will. I know you will, because you're so smart. You're smarter than me most of the time, you guys. Alrighty, have a good day. Work on your math. If you need any help with it, you let me know. And be good to your families. Help your parents. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.